See if anybody hops on. We're live.
By ourselves.
All alone and unafraid. We'll let Facebook and YouTube tell people that we're here. And I usually go in and edit this part out of the Facebook Live when it sits on there. All right.
Audio is good. See,
hey, Noah, you know what's coming.
Always asking about your audio.
Well, I'm always paranoid that we're going to be standing here going
for 20 minutes and nobody heard anything.
And maybe if you watch for 20 minutes without hearing what we're saying, then maybe you really don't care that much about what we have to say. All right. Good morning, guys. Michael here from Bucks Island with a little surprise live. I got the one and only Mr. John Cox.
I look a little different than the other guy.
Yeah. So thanks for stopping by. I know you brought your Skeeter in. I guess we could just say you've been pretty busy the last month or so.
Yeah.
You got a wedding
and a honeymoon.
2,000
miles on the truck. Yeah.
New boat. So you've been a customer with Bucks. When did you say 2016 is when you bought your first boat from us?
Yeah.
And then so you've been coming to us just as a regular customer, and now you're taking a pretty big step next year.
Yep.
Talk to me about that. What are you doing?
I have joined the National Professional Fishing League for next year. It's a new trail. Some of you may have heard about it. Some of you may have not.
Okay.
But check us out on Facebook. It's the National Professional Fishing League. It's going to be a new national tour.
Okay.
Just like Bass FLW, which there is no FLW anymore.
Okay.
But so we're going to be touring the country just like the other guys. It's going to be a 5-fish event. There's going to be 6 regular season tournaments, and then the top 25 are going to qualify for the national championship at the end of the year.
All right.
They're all, big 5-fish way. It's 3 tournament days in each one, and there is no cut, unlike the other trails. So
all right,
all 125 anglers, which is the same 125 guys across the country at all the lakes.
Okay.
And you're not competing with the local hammers and all that like you are for the Opens or the Toyota Series.
Okay.
And there's 3 full days with no cuts going to get pretty interesting because, realistically, you could be in 70th place fighting for that, 44th place check range, and you could still have a chance on that third day.
So are we going to call it the National Professional Fishing League every time? That's a mouthful.
Yeah, it is a mouthful. So right now the initials NPFL seem to be sticking.
NPFL.
There's some play with the ownership guys with the phrase the league.
The league.
So we haven't been told exactly which one to use. We've got Fat Cat Newton coming on as one of the announcers, and
Luke Duncan.
Luke Duncan, right. I've just recently become a fan of Luke Duncan's, watching his podcast with some good stuff he's got. So, but Luke Duncan's going to be the head commentator so far, and Fat Cat Newton's going to be on site.
Yep.
Jumping, walking from boat to boat. I don't know if he jumps anymore, but it's going to be a good time, and they're not going to hold anything back. And it's professional fishing league, but emphasis on the word professional.
Gotcha.
I mean, it's going to be very interactive. It's not going to be ran by your typical, guys in suits back at headquarters. The ownership group is a lot of guys that love bass fishing and love tournament bass fishing, and it's going to be pretty much by the anglers, for the anglers, about the anglers, and about the audience. It's all going to be live streaming, and it's going to be very, very interactive. So it's going to be fun to watch.
Well, we're excited to see. Obviously, we just love the fishing community, and here at Bucks Island, that's kind of, that's definitely a huge chunk of what Bucks Island is about with the tackle store. Obviously, you can all the bass boats and all that kind of stuff. So
y'all sell bass boats?
Well, not right now. We don't sell that many of them because we don't have any.
If you drive by Bucks Island like I did for many years, going to Rainbow Landing up here on Neely Henry, Of course, it was 4 or 5 in the morning, still dark outside,
Uh-huh.
and I drove by here for years before I even realized y'all sold bass boats. I
Well-
thought it was strictly pontoon boats.
Well, we
But-
do. We sell a lot of those
Right,
pontoon
yeah.
boats.
You do.
So you anglers that are diehard against the pontooners and get angry with them getting in your way, we apologize, but
It's not the pontoon boats that bother us. It's y'all don't sell jet skis, do you?
no, we
You
don't
As
sell
long as
jet
y'all don't sell
skis.
jet skis, you're good to go.
No, so we're excited. The new league coming on. You came in and you were looking at buying a new boat. You want the best equipment. You're definitely stepping it up a notch in terms of your fishing career. So we worked out some stuff to get you on with the pro staff, and excited to see having you run a FXR 20.
Love it.
Now you've had a little bit of time with it. You liking it so far? So you're coming out of an F. Actually, let's see, where is it? That FX right there,
Yeah, you can
the
see
Impulse Blue.
Yeah, the blue power poles there.
Okay, so you're coming out of the more recent FX hull to that FXR 20. What are your thoughts so far?
I tell you, I don't know. It's the same engine, so it's a 250 show,
Mm-hmm.
but the mid-range speed, I mean, it's almost like it's torqued different.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like I'm driving a race car. I
Okay.
really do. It is super impressive, the speed and the handling. I was at Eufaula last weekend for a 2-day championship on the ABA, and we had 25 mile an hour winds on the south end. And if you know what Eufaula is like on the south end during the winds, and it was a straight south wind, so
Mhm.
I got to really try it out. And I didn't spear any waves,
Okay.
which was very common in the old hull.
Okay.
I've speared my fair share of waves in the old boat. The nose rides a lot higher than they used to.
Okay. A
Uh,
little more bow lift out of
yes,
that thing.
and being an older guy, I really, really, really know when you get that hard smack,
Mm-hmm.
that pinches your back and can hurt you. Never felt it.
Yeah.
Never had it. I mean, every time I came down, it felt like I was on a cushion of air. It was the softest riding Skeeter I've ever been in, which my other boat now, I love. It handled great,
Right.
but this one, it's amazing.
The feedback seems to be they made a lot of the right moves.
Yeah.
A lot of the right changes not to play down, and that's all as the FXRs rolled in. That's nothing against that FX hull. It was a great hull.
Right, yeah.
They just kind of some tweaks, the access on the
Mhm.
stern. I think is definitely a
Oh,
much
yeah, with
loved
the lids.
improvement.
The lid's being split. You can definitely get
So
back there.
if you got to get back
check
there and
on
troubleshoot a
stuff.
battery, I know our technicians are more than happy, and our riggers. It makes it a lot easier to get access into the back of that. But yeah, I remember when we were out with Mark Menendez getting his first impressions of that boat, and that was one very big thing that he said was he noticed right off that when you felt like you were going to get that hard hit coming off a wave,
It doesn't.
and it's just Yep.
cushion. And I never had a hard hit. I never even got wet. I think I might have got, turned sideways one time with a little spray. I actually, if you saw my post, I actually jumped the log. So for lack of
we won't
a
talk
better
about
term,
your
right, yeah.
we won't talk about
So,
your skag.
I lost a skeg with 15 hours on a boat, so it's going to cost me. So it's my mistake. But the worst part is I saw that log 4 days in a row
Oof.
during practice. So it was kind of just right on a turn in the main river channel. And when I was coming back down from upriver, I was coming back down, and there's a slight turn to the right, and I was just following the buoys where there was a storm coming up the lake.
Mhm.
So I kind of glanced off, kind of like looking at a deer on the side of the road. When I cut my eyes back, I had cut the turn a little too sharp and looked up right as that log was there, and it was hung on something. It'd been sitting
Okay.
there for 4 days, and it was too late to do anything but fly. So I went flying. But even then, I didn't get wet. The boat handled it great. I don't recommend doing that, but I'm safe, and it,
All right.
I lost a skeg, and that's it.
So we got a few folks on here, guys. If you got any questions, we'll go for a few minutes and just chit chat. I'm gonna jump into Fish Fest here in just a second, and because I really haven't talked to you at
Right.
all about what all's planned. So you were at Eufaula. what's fishing report? What's going on down in Eufaula? How's
It's
it going?
tough. It's definitely tough right now with the fall transition. It's the haves and have nots. Saturday, the day one of the tournament, I had a limit in 45 minutes. Was culling all day long. Never got a big bite. I had 12 pounds. And then day two, I struggled to find a limit.
Okay.
After, a full tournament day, after a Saturday, everybody on the water. I did get a limit, but only for 9 something. So I finished 17th in the tournament. But word on the street is that the local hammers that won the tournament and the top tier of the tournament guys were catching their fish still 25 feet deep.
Huh.
So I mean, I was catching mine in 3 foot or less.
Okay.
So fish are at all ranges, obviously, different sizes or different ranges. I had some good practice.
They're all over the place.
Thursday,
transition.
Yep. Thursday and Friday, I found some big ones, and then Saturday and Sunday, I just couldn't get that big bite.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, those of you that are on, so Fish Fest. I've been kind of teasing that and trying to slowly get some information out.
Slowly, like a crawl. I haven't seen.
Man,
I don't even know what Fish Fest is.
Man,
Tell
okay.
me what Fish Fest
So
is.
Fish Fest. So last year in last March of 2019, we did the Fish Fest where we brought in pros. Did seminars. We had a lot of the vendors that brought in product, and a lot of them, were able to answer questions. We had a lot of fun, a lot of good turnout.
Mm-hmm.
We had some demo boats available and all that kind of stuff. Well, we had planned to do that again in March. And of course, it's 2020, so nothing goes as planned in 2020. And we got a lot of our great brands that we work with and sell here had kicked in a lot of good door prizes. So we've got kind of a room full of stuff.
Right.
And we've been sitting there staring at it, and it's almost the end of 2020, and we said, let's just get online and do what we can do.
Right.
So we're
Fish Fest is giveaways.
So we're going to do virtual Fish Fest.
Right.
And so the big thing of it will be that it will end with a big door prize drawing.
Mm-hmm.
With giveaways.
Is it a virtual door or actual door?
Virtual
door.
Virtual door. So here's what's going to happen. And so the big prizes that we've got to give away are going to be an opportunity. We're going to pick 4 guys to fish with Brian Latimer, Matt Herron, Wes Logan, and Scott Canterbury.
Gotcha.
So we did that last year with Brian, and had a lot of fun with that. Ended up cranking out a straight up fishing video on Brian's channel. So we're looking at doing the similar thing, but we're just merging that with Fish Fest. So that's going to be some of the big. We've got some other big tackle giveaways. We've got some big Ingalls coolers to give away. All that kind of stuff. So we'll be showing that. Basically, what we're going to do 24th of October, that Saturday, we're going to start with lives periodically all day long.
Mm-hmm.
And we're going to have seminars that we're going to do just like this. And I know we've got Matt Herron and Scott are signed up. I think Justin's actually going to come back. Justin Elliott is going to come back and talk some electronics and rigging.
Good.
That's going to be exciting. But we're going to do that here
it's going to be informative. I don't know if Justin is exciting, but
well,
he's informative.
I don't know if I throw stuff at him.
There you go.
Get him to dance around. We'll make it good. But with each of those, we're going to do a little bit of giveaways with the lives and have some fun. Obviously, taking the Q&A. I mean, that's the big thing for what we've been doing with this whole internet thing, and Facebook and YouTube. We want the questions from the customers, and we want to give you the information that the customer wants to know.
Gotcha.
Otherwise, we can drone on and on. So we'll definitely do some theme stuff. So we're gonna have discounts in the tackle store. We're gonna do 10% off everything in store for the whole following week.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where it might get a little complicated, and I've got to do a good job of explaining. But basically, so from the tackle store. Whoops. So we're live.
Yeah.
So from the 24th through November 1st, so the following Sunday, every $10 that you spend on tackle, whether it's online or in store,
Mm-hmm.
every $10 is going to get you an additional raffle entry into the drawing
For the fishing trip.
For the fishing trip. And
do we know which pro it's going to be with yet?
We don't.
All right.
So we'll probably pick for each. So we'll pick one for each, and you're going to be the luck of the draw.
Gotcha.
You know,
Now, is it going to be on all of them? Going to be on Neely Henry?
So that's we're going to have to pick a date, but most likely we'll do like we did last year and get everybody together and do a 1 day. I think we called it a pro-am.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. A little tournament.
Yeah, it was. You know, we wanted to go have fun and
Yeah.
have the customers have fun, but with all you guys, you throw a little piece of wood out there and it says award on it, and all of a sudden the competitive
Yes,
fangs
they
come
do.
out, and that was crazy to me to see. But and of course between Matt and Scott and Wes, who are definitely three local guys that you know they've known each other for a long time and
Right.
have fished these waters. There was a lot of rivalry. I think Brian kind of showed up and was like, whoa, guys, we're just out here to have fun. But no, that turned out to be a good one. We actually had Matt Heron try to weigh in a drum in the final weigh-in.
I've been there, done that. Needed that drum weight.
But so that'll probably be, and we got to work out the details. Obviously, the schedules of everything, you know, it's 2020 standard thing. We got to wait to see what's going to make sense that we can get everybody together and do that. So we'll also be doing some videos each day the following week, including the live with you on that Thursday. So we're going to get out with you on your new Skeeter and go live for 2 hours, just the standard Bucks Island Live, and take questions. And
hopefully not the standard, because I want to catch some fish on my Facebook Live.
Hey now. Well, Scott Canterbury hit me with a fish. So,
Right. Well,
you know, Pam Martin Wells, she
I didn't
snagged
see Pam's. I didn't see
she
Pam's.
snagged a blue heron.
Uh-huh.
And then so we got to free an animal.
But did she hit a blue heron with her boat?
No.
Oh, okay. I don't know if you knew that story.
Have you hit a blue heron?
Yes. Taylor and I were fishing the FLW World Finals for high school fishing on Pickwick probably 3 or 4 years ago. I mean, it went viral like crazy on Facebook. But we were headed down the lake, had about a 30, 40-minute run, and at 70 miles an hour in that boat right back there, 70, 72 miles an hour, heading down the river or heading down Lake Pickwick, we see a herring over to the right, and he, you know, they fly right a couple feet off the water.
Yep.
We don't think nothing of it. He's supposed to get out of our way. Well, he clips my trolling motor and comes barreling over the windshield. If I hadn't have ducked, I probably would have lost my damn head at 72 miles an hour.
Well,
but so we get to we get to the bridge down there for our starting spot, and my light pole is laid down completely flat. So he went from the trolling motor over the dash and then flattened my light pole behind me.
Oh,
Yeah, so I don't know if he's okay or not. But,
all right.
But
So if you
he
buy
definitely took a tumble.
if you buy John Cox's boat, you're getting a new light pole.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy.
It's an LED light pole too.
Let's not do that.
Right.
But yeah, so we'll go live, and of course we'll throw in some goodies. I think for sure we're going to give away some additional raffle entries from the comments and shares that we get on the lives.
Gene Jensen.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
What'd you hide it for?
No, I didn't hide it.
Oh, okay.
It's on the screen now.
Oh, Gene, this is the guy. You know, you had to ask, so I'm going to tell you. This is the guy that has beat you every single time we've ever gone and fished together. So I'm just saying that. It's only been twice, but I've been Gene's camera boat a couple of times. We've
All
had
right.
fun though.
Little bad blood there.
Yeah, we went to Florida a couple years ago and stayed for 2 or 3 days and had a $5 bet for the biggest fish of the trip. And you're like, hey, LOL. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
both
times. See, I beat him both times.
all right. You make it sound like a lot. I mean,
Well,
twice.
hey, 2 for 2, that's 100%.
All right.
100% of the time, I have beat Gene Jensen. Oh, 29,000.
29.45 for that boat.
Yeah. I shared the live, so now you're gonna get all my buddies being smart asses.
Well, so that's Fish Fest, so we'll get a bunch of stuff coming out next week. I'm still working on all the.
So what day am I fishing live?
So the 29th.
29th
Thursday.
of October, Thursday, I will be live
9 to 11 on
9
Neely
to
Henry.
11 Central Time.
Central time. Yeah, I forget.
I
that
live
you're
on
from,
Eastern Time.
You're from
right?
that Eastern.
Yeah, that Eastern Time zone. So Central Time.
And what do you do for your real job?
I own a plumbing company.
You own a plumbing company.
And I'm a real estate agent.
And a real estate agent.
Right, yeah.
Okay. So I guess I should say, what don't you do?
Where's the real John Cox? I'm right here. The real John Cox, live at Bucks Island. I am 49 years old, so I'm older than him. So I would go to say I'm the original John Cox.
Well, I know.
Well, my father's the original.
Okay.
He's not with us anymore, so I'm the original John Cox.
Well, I know I know you have some fun with some of the confusion on the internet.
Actually, I don't. You would not believe the messages I get and the emails I get, and it's amazing to me how many people say they're fans of his and they don't even know what he looks like, because my page is covered with Skeeter stuff, fiberglass boats. I've never had an aluminum boat since I was a kid. And he's all about his thing. And I love John. I'm a fan too.
Yeah.
I know what he looks like. If I'm a fan of somebody, I know what kind of boat they have. I know what kind of boat they drive.
Mike Godfrey, can I fish against you for the boat?
For the boat. You'd have to talk to them.
I don't know. I don't know if we can pull that one off.
Right. Yeah.
That's a pretty nice boat to be giving away.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What was this?
See, I should have shared this earlier. Yes.
That's all right. We'll get it on there. And it's gonna live. It's gonna live on the internet.
You see all these names here? You're gonna be talking to these guys while I'm fishing, so they're gonna work you to death.
Yeah. So you're gonna. Well,
I'll be sure to share the live before I start fishing on that day.
They're so much more fun when we get the interaction and questions. Mm-hmm. I want to trump or stump you. But we have a lot of fun with those.
To stump me because I'm gonna lie. I'm gonna answer everything you ask. I'll lie with the best of them.
So let's talk. So how much time do you spend on Neely Henry?
I used to spend quite a bit.
Okay.
A lot of the local trails I fished. Went to Neely Henry. I'd fished 2 or 3 times, but to be honest, it was one of my favorite lakes, but I have not been there lately. Okay. I have.
You've been pretty focused on Eufaula.
Yes, this past year I've been focused on Eufaula. I like to move my camper from one lake to the next every year. So I spent a year on Logan Martin, then I spent a year on Lake Weiss, then I went back to Logan Martin, and then now this year I'm at Eufaula. I haven't done Neely because there's not really many campgrounds on Neely that I know of.
Yeah, it's slim pickings other than downtown. A lot of folks with Nakalula Falls has got a great campground up there, but of course that's not right on the water.
Right.
I guess this is
with 33 Classic.
Wow. I can already see Thursday the 29th is going to be fun.
Yeah. You better have your reading glasses on because you're going to be reading a lot of comments.
That's all right. We'll do the best we can, and hopefully we'll get some fish in the boat. So
I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be a good time. But yep. So keep an eye out for the Fish Fest stuff. I think it's going to be fun. The ideal and what we'll be working for next year, post COVID, or once we figure out the way the world's going to work, is to do all that in person. And we got a lot of great feedback that just the one-on-one time, the engagement.
Yeah.
Actually, we were planning on back in March, planning on having Gene come over.
Who's that?
Gene Jensen, that Flute Master guy.
Never heard of her.
Yeah. But we had some.
Two can play at that game, Gene.
we had some good kayak content put together and planned.
Does he fish?
Who? Gene?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
I've heard of him.
I
didn't know if he fished.
I think he just makes YouTube videos.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Something. Yeah. No, it was. We were looking forward to it. That was a real bummer.
Yeah.
But of course, this year, if we did an open house right now, we've got no boats to demo. But they're slowly coming in. We are. I know Skeeter, I think, is cranking up. They're opening up an additional day, and they're talking about taking less time off during Christmas than they normally would
Right.
to try and get boats out. But
Let's get them in because people are buying them like crazy.
Yeah, well, the pieces and parts
That's
is
why,
killing them.
yeah, when I came over here a couple of months ago and y'all had one sitting there that halfway suited me, sold. I wasn't going to take a chance.
I think that's gonna prove to be a good decision.
Yeah,
for sure.
I think so too.
Because it is definitely.
I definitely wasn't ready to do it in the middle of my tournament season.
Yep.
But it was a smart move, I believe.
I think it was. I know on the kayak side, I think Hobie's pretty much sold out now through June of next year already.
Wow.
So we've got out of the Skeeters quite a few. I want to say 5 or 6 of the ZXRs that are on order. They're already spoken for. We're doing deposits.
Right.
That's not normally something we do on ordered boats. Normally, and that's one of the things that we enjoy in Bucks Island is that we do have volume. We're a volume dealership,
right.
and we're a great place to come and see a lot of stuff side by side. So it really is. It's not nearly as fun for us, and it makes it a lot harder, honestly, on those of us doing sales to try and talk and coordinate and all that kind of stuff. I'd much rather have the boat sitting here on the showroom, have you go, I love that. This is the graph. This is the motor I want, and let us get it set up.
We're gonna do that on the 29th because I definitely love my boat, so it's gonna be a lot to talk about.
Well, good. All right. Well, I think we've droned on, covered most of the good stuff. Anything additional? We'll save some for the 29th.
Yeah.
And again, great to see you today. A little surprise visit, and love jumping on live. Thanks for doing this.
Anytime.
And we are looking forward to seeing what how things go with the National Professional Fishing League, and glad to have a trusted guy out there representing us. And it's fun to partner with good brands.
Yes, it is.
And good people, because that's kind of, ultimately that's what the sport's all about.
Yep, definitely.
So we're excited about that, and we will definitely be following along and having some fun in the future. So, all right, guys, thank you for jumping on. For those of you coming from John's channel, thanks for giving him a hard time. I expect more of that in the future.
You'll definitely get it.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you.